Today is day 7 of the idea. I just kind of want to show you guys what we've achieved so far. So I realized that I actually don't have much time to create content, and a lot of you want me to vlog this business journey. So I guess what I'm going to be doing is, whilst I'm driving between locations, I will be recording these vlogs. And don't worry guys, I'll be driving and just talking to myself so the people around me think I'm crazy. But 7 days ago, I had an idea which was sparked by a negative experience I went through with another business. And this idea was something that I had maybe about 3 months ago. And I didn't pull the trigger on it because I didn't want to build another business whilst I had multiple other businesses that were in their growth stage. So I was like, you know what? It's a good idea. I think it's going to blow up. It's not here in Australia yet, but I was like, you know what? I took a little bit of a pause on it. I wasn't sure that I wanted to pursue it because, one, I needed to invest quite a bit of capital, and two, it would take a lot of time for me to do it if I were to do it myself. This is why I love building businesses with people that I love. And I love building businesses with people that I trust. The only thing you have to remember that is, if you're going to build a business with your friend, you're going to build a business with your family, you guys have to have strict boundaries. You have to know who is the boss, who is leading the project, and who is second fiddle. Most of the time, if you guys are trying to come to a diplomatic solution, it never really works out, and people just get bitter and they develop a bit of resentment, which nobody wants. And we don't want to put a friendship at risk just to make a bit of money. There is never any fun and never any honor in that. So we want to make sure that relationships and boundaries are always clear. Anyway, so I had this idea. I went for a negative experience with one of the other people that have a similar idea to mine. And I was like, well, stuff that. I will go and do it myself. And so I got really angry. I was very emotional that day. I was like, how could this happen? Like, this is horrible. I gave them feedback. I tried to help them improve their business for free. All of which fell onto deaf ears. As always, you can't change anyone who doesn't want change. You can't help anyone who doesn't want help. It's just the reality. Lo and behold, my friend coincidentally calls me, and she is going through a similar experience where she's thinking about starting a business with a complete stranger because that stranger asked her to consider being business partners with her. And so I was like, hey, hold on a second. I have this idea that I think I can execute on 10 times better than our competitor, and you're thinking about starting a very similar business. Why don't we just go, you know what, fuck it. Why should we start it on our own or start it with a stranger when we can start it with each other, and we both know each other's work ethics and we both trust and like each other? So why don't we start this business together? And literally from that moment on, I just went, fuck it. I said, you know what? Tomorrow I'll find a location. I'll find the inventory cost. I'll cost it up. I'll give you some numbers. You tell me if you're in or you're out. If you're in, we do this and we go damn hard. But if you're out, that's that. That's the end of that conversation. We go on with our lives, and that is all it is. So I literally went home. I costed it all up. I figured out the numbers. It will cost us X amount each. I think at this stage, it's roughly about $10,000 each in terms of startup capital, which is okay. It's not extremely significant. I've started most of my businesses with less than $1,000, but this one was going to be a little bit bigger. So $10,000 of an investment, I was like, that's not too bad. But we needed space. So again, the investment on space is not so much an instant investment, but an investment over time per se. So let's just say, for example, $50,000 a year times 3 years plus all of the other outgoings, etc. You're looking at close to $200,000 in 3 years of investment, which is not something that a lot of people think about when they're starting up and they're finding a space to work out of. So I just wanted to be very transparent about that. The next day, so we're talking literally last Saturday, the idea came to life. Sunday, we agreed that we're going to start this thing. Monday, I went out and I started looking at warehouses. I was actually very, very lucky. Sunday night, I had already planned out my trip for maybe 5 or 6 different warehouses. I started calling up. Monday, they started replying to me. And Monday morning, I literally said, hey, look, I'm going to do this thing. can I come and check out the warehouse? So I went, checked out the warehouse. I really liked it. Brand new build in Homebush West in the Biz Park that just finished there. This was the last unit that was left. The price was good. The space was good. Clean walls, clean floors. I really liked it. I sent it to my business partner. She really liked it. And that day, I pretty much just chased down the agent like a crazy man. And I was like, send me the paperwork. And that was pretty much it. My partner drove over. She came and checked out the warehouse with me at night. This is literally us being degenerates at 9 p.m. at night, checking out a warehouse that we can't even get into. We didn't look like criminals, ? But anyway, so we did that. Tuesday morning, I signed the papers. I put down my deposit. So at this stage, I'm probably about, I don't know, $4,000 deep in terms of deposit, $4,000 or $5,000 in terms of deposit. I can't remember now. And I put in my first batch of inventory. I had to express it over because I need to get it before our launch date. We're planning on doing an influencer launch on the 14th, which is in about 2 weeks' time. So I needed inventory here in Australia very, very quick for this idea. And so I had to express it. When you express something on an aeroplane from the factory or your agent or your trading company over to Australia, it will take roughly about 7 to 10 business days to get here, or not even 7 to 10 days because it's express. But the shipping fees are about 4 to 6 times more than sea ship, depending on the size and the weight, of course. So I went, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. And first batch of inventory paid for, deposited. I think it cost me $6,000 at that stage. And then the other bits and bobs probably has costed me around $4,000. So in the last 7 days now, I've spent roughly 14, somewhere between $12,000 to $14,000 in the last 7 days to get everything done up. And I'm currently working on getting my pitch deck ready. This is the first business that I'm actually going to offer to investors. And so that's quite an exciting experience for me. And I think it's just going to be a really, really exciting journey to bring on board a lot of friends and family for this one. I've now built multiple businesses that have crossed multiple millions of dollars. And I believe I know exactly what I'm doing to be able to make this a success. So for the first time ever, I was like, you know what? Everything else in my life has been self-funded so far. I've been pretty happy. My net profit margins have been pretty healthy. I think it's time for me to be able to spread the love. And so I decided to open up an investment pool for all of my loved ones, friends and family, to be able to take a look at the business, take a look at the model that we're creating now, and then hopefully, if they're interested, create an extra stream of passive income for them. For most of my investors, I really don't care if they're hands-on or hands-off. Hands-on, of course, I always love extra help. Hands-off, well, it is what it is. You know, your money can go a long way with me. So that's pretty much where we're at with the business at the moment. This is day 7 that I'm recording this. I've just given you guys an update. So far, within the last 7 days, we have signed the paperwork for the warehouse to get a lease. For the lease of the warehouse, we have ordered our first batch of inventory, which should hopefully be expressed here and arrive very soon. I've ordered all the supporting tools, accessories, and stuff for the inventory as well. I have set up our payment system. I've done our booking system. I'm currently in the middle of building our website. I'm drafting up, actually our pitch deck is finished. I'm drafting up our NDAs, and I am looking to hire an executive assistant from next week or the week after onwards. And so things are moving quite fast, from idea to deploying almost $15 worth of resources in the last 7 days. And we're just getting started. I think in the next week or so, I'll probably spend another $15,000, and then that's all prior to marketing. And we should have a pretty fun ride. Hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 1 of this business vlog. And guys, make sure you tune in for episode 2. I'll make a recap every week so you guys can see what's been happening every single week of this business. All right, hope you guys have enjoyed this, and tune in for another episode of Alan Fu next week.